You look out at the silent stars. You have seen so many of them now. Each one is a diamond on black velvet. Each one a potential home or a tomb. For generations, this has been your journey. You cross the silent, empty spaces between worlds, and you find only echoes. Every world you visit is a gravestone. Here, a city of crystal fused into glass. There, oceans boiled away to salt flats. On another, strange metal spires stand silent. They reach for a sky they will never touch again. The silence is a crushing weight, a universal truth you cannot escape. You have walked through the dust of 100 civilizations. You have seen their final messages scrawled on canyon walls. You have touched the bones of their last children. The galaxy is not empty. It is a graveyard, a vast and terrible testament to failure. Something out there is very, very wrong. Most of humanity has retreated. They hide in their star-born cities. They fear the great silence. They accept it as the final answer to the final question. They believe the universe is simply hostile to life, a place where dreams go to die. They say the struggle is pointless. But you, and a few others, disagree. You see something different in the cosmic dust. You see not an endless graveyard. You see a fallow garden, a garden that has been trampled and neglected, a place that is waiting for a tender's hand. This is the seed of the Genesis Project. It is an idea born of stubborn hope, an idea that many call the height of arrogance. Who are you to challenge the silence? Who are you to replant a garden this vast? They say you are fools. They say you are children playing with cosmic fire. You think they might be right, but you also think someone has to try. The project begins not with a weapon, but with a blueprint. You watch them build the first ark. It is a machine of impossible scale. It is not designed for war. It is not meant to conquer or destroy. It is a tool of pure creation, a planetary seed. Its central spire scrapes the sky of the orbital shipyard. Thousands of smaller vessels swarm around it. They weld plates of star-forged alloy. They weave conduits of light and energy. The Ark is a cathedral dedicated to life. Its engines do not roar with fury. They hum with a deep and steady promise. Inside its vast frame are the keys to a new beginning. Atmospheric processors the size of cities. Tectonic stabilizers that can calm a raging world. And at its heart, the bioforges. Machines that can weave the very threads of life. They can craft everything from microbes to forests. It is humanity's greatest work. You stand on the bridge of the Genesis, 1. The Ark is tethered behind your much smaller ship. Your destination is chosen. A world named Xylos, a name that means dead wood in an ancient tongue. It is a fitting first test, a planet of iron dust and frozen methane. The journey takes years, a silent procession through the empty dark. You pass the ghosts of other suns. You see more dead worlds along the way. Each one strengthens your resolve. Each tombstone is a reason to keep going. The silence must be answered, not with fear, but with life. Finally, you arrive. Xylos hangs in the void before you, a great red ball of rust and ice. No light shines from its surface. No signals whisper from its core. It is a perfect specimen of cosmic death. Your ship releases the Ark. The great machine begins its slow, deliberate descent. This is the moment. Humanity's greatest gamble has finally begun. The Ark settles onto the vast, red plain. Its landing struts groan as they take the weight. For a long moment, nothing happens. The red dust settles around its immense feet. Then, a low hum begins. It is the sound of a world being awakened. Probes drill deep into the crust. They sample the frozen soil and the thin, toxic air. Power flows from the ark's core. The ground around it begins to warm. The first atmospheric processors ignite. They vent clouds of tailored gas into the sky. A thin, gray haze begins to form. This will be the foundation of a new heaven. It is slow, it is deliberate, it is beautiful. Your sensors track the changes second by second. The surface temperature rises by a single degree, then another. Deep below the ground, the tectonic stabilizers begin their work. They send resonant frequencies into the planet's mantle. They are trying to restart its cold, dead heart. They are trying to wake the world's core. As the machines drill deeper, they uncover something. It is not a natural rock formation. Your deep scan sonar returns a strange image. Something vast and artificial is buried there, buried miles beneath the iron dust. The drills are halted. The project pauses. A mystery has surfaced from the deep. A new mission is planned with quiet urgency. Excavation drones are sent down the drill shafts. They are equipped with lasers and sensors. They melt their way through layers of ancient stone. You watch their camera feeds on the main screen. The rock gives way to something smooth and dark. Not metal, something else. It is a structure, or maybe the edge of one. The drones clear more of the dust and rock away. They reveal a vast, carved surface. It is covered in markings, not writing as you understand it. They are more like geometric scars, deep gouges in the indestructible material. As the drones map the surface, a picture begins to form. It is a message, a warning, buried deep in stone by a world's last survivors. The work of terraforming stops. All energy is diverted to this new puzzle. Your best minds work to decipher the message. It is not a language of sound or symbols. It is a language of mathematics, a language of star science and physics. It is the universe's own tongue. The message is elegant in its terror. It describes the civilization that lived here, a species of crystalline beings who sang with light. They built cities that chimed with the planet's rotation. They were peaceful. They were brilliant. And they are gone. Because they were harvested. The warning speaks of a shadow, a presence that moves between the stars. It does not communicate. It does not negotiate. It arrives, and then there is only silence. It is not a conqueror. It is a filter, a thing that consumes the energy of complex systems, the energy of civilization itself. The message ends with a final, desperate plea, a single concept repeated over and over. Do not build. Do not shine. Stay quiet. It is the most polite "get off my lawn" sign in history. But it is not a joke. The warning from Xylos is a key that unlocks a terrible truth. You take the pattern described in the message, the specific energy signature of the shadow's arrival. You scan the records from all the dead worlds you have found. The data streams in. From the glass cities of Cygnus, 10-1. From the boiled oceans of Kepler, 18. From 100 dead suns and 1,000 silent worlds. The same pattern emerges every single time. A brief, titanic spike of complex energy, followed by an absolute and final silence. It is the signature of a civilization reaching its peak, then being erased. The Great Silence is not an accident. It is a deliberate act. The galaxy is not a graveyard. It is a cleared field. A field that is periodically purged of any life that grows too loud. Any civilization that shines too brightly. The shadow, the great filter, is real. It is patient. And it is thorough. You now understand what you are facing. The debates are short and fierce. Some say you should pack up and run, hide in the nebulae, Go back to your star-born homes and turn off the lights. They say you should heed the warning. But humanity did not come this far to live in fear. You did not build a machine of creation just to abandon it. The project's mission has changed. The decision is made. You will not run. You will not hide. You will continue to build. But you will build differently. The Genesis project is no longer just about gardening. It is now about guardianship. You are no longer just tenders of a fallow world. You must now become its protectors. You will turn your plowshares into shields. The ark was built for creation. Now, you must teach it the art of defense. Your engineers and scientists work tirelessly. They redesigned the atmospheric processors. They are no longer just for making air. They will now weave a planetary shield into the very sky. It is an idea of breathtaking audacity. You watch the first tests. Drones fly high into the thin, new atmosphere. They release streams of magnetized particles. The particles catch the light of the distant sun. They form a shimmering, golden web. This web will be the first line of defense. A net designed to catch something that is not even solid. It's like trying to build a fortress out of soap bubbles. It seems impossible. The tectonic stabilizers are also repurposed. Their original job was to restart the planet's core. Now they will do more. You learn to control continental plates, to raise mountains and deepen valleys on command. The planet itself will become a form of armor. If the shadow comes, you will shift the very continents to protect the ark, and to protect the new life you plan to seed. You are engineering a fortress on a planetary scale. It is a slow and monumental task. You weave the magnetic shield thread by thread. You teach the planet's crust to dance to your tune. And while you build your defenses, you also continue to build life. The first microbes are released into the warming soil. The first hardy mosses begin to color the red dust green. For a time, there is peace. The green spreads across the plains. The sky turns from a thin gray to a soft blue. Xylos is being reborn. It is a slow, quiet miracle. You have brought a dead world back from the brink. You have stared into the void and spat in its eye. You think maybe you have gotten away with it. You have been very, very wrong. Your work has not gone unnoticed. Restarting a planet's core is not a quiet business. Weaving a magnetic shield sends ripples through space-time. You have lit a candle in a very dark room, and something has seen the flame. On the far side of the galaxy, something stirs. An ancient, patient devourer has been woken. You did not just trip a wire. You rang the dinner bell. The great filter, the shadow between the worlds, now knows you exist. It has felt the pulse of your technology. It has tasted the energy of your ambition. And now it is coming for you. You do not know when. You do not know how. You only know that the silence is about to be broken. The first sign is subtle, a slight dimming of the stars, as if a fine dust is drifting between you and them. Your long-range sensors pick up nothing. No ships, no energy signatures. Just a creeping, spreading darkness. It is a void that seems to be eating the light. Then, it arrives. It is not an army. It is not a fleet of warships. It is a tide. A silent, black tide of self-replicating dust. It moves with a slow, terrible purpose. It washes over the outer moons of Xylos. The moons simply vanish. Their light and heat and mass are consumed. The shadow grows larger. It reaches the outer edge of your new atmosphere. The shield you built flares to life. The golden web you wove into the sky ignites. It strains against the tide of black dust. The shadow is not solid. It is a trillion tiny machines, each one no bigger than a molecule. each one designed to consume energy and make a copy of itself. The shield holds, for now, but it is bleeding energy at an impossible rate. You stand on the bridge of the Genesis 1 in orbit. You watch the battle unfold on the planet below. The black tide flows around the shield. It finds the gaps. It pours down into the blue sky you created. Wherever it touches, it devours. It eats the light. It eats the heat. It eats the air itself. Black rivers of nothingness cut through the clouds. The shadow has fallen upon your new world. The planet you worked so hard to build is dying. The shield is failing. The black dust is consuming the atmosphere. But you did not just build a world. You built a fortress. And now, that fortress is fighting back. The tectonic stabilizers roar to life deep within the crust. The ground begins to shake. You watch in awe as the planet itself goes to war. The small, shallow oceans you created begin to boil. They were designed with this in mind. They vent massive plumes of superheated vapor into the sky. This vapor shield is a crude but powerful defense. It disrupts the shadow's advance. It buys you precious time. Great mountain ranges, your new engineered mountains, begin to move. Continental plates grind against each other. They rise up to form a physical barrier, a wall of rock and stone to protect the ark. The planet is a living weapon, a beast of your own creation, roused to defend itself. It is magnificent. It is terrifying. And it is not enough. The shadow is too vast. It adapts too quickly. It is still winning. The shadow consumes energy. All energy. Kinetic, thermal, electromagnetic. That is how it replicates. That is its strength. You have been fighting it with energy. You have thrown shields and heat and motion at it. And you have only been feeding it, making it stronger. The realization dawns on you with cold certainty. You cannot win this fight with the rules of star science. You need a new weapon, a new strategy. And the answer has been there all along. Not in the planet's core, but on its surface. In the green moss you seeded. In the microbes in the soil. The enemy consumes energy to replicate. It follows a perfect, cold logic. So you will give it the one thing it cannot handle. The one thing that defies that logic. You will give it life. Life is not efficient. It is not logical. It is a chaotic, unrestrained, and messy explosion of energy. It is the one thing in the universe that is fundamentally unpredictable. The bioforges in the Ark, the heart of the Genesis project, are pushed to their absolute limit. They begin to pump out life itself as a weapon. The Ark unleashes a torrent of biological matter. Not just moss and microbes this time. It unleashes complex polymers, unstable proteins, wildly replicating cells that live and die in microseconds. It is a flood of pure, chaotic biological potential, a storm of disorganized life. This is your final, desperate move. You are throwing a logic bomb of life at a creature of pure logic. The tide of life meets the tide of shadow. The black dust tries to consume it. It tries to process the chaotic energy of trillions of replicating cells. And it fails. The shadow's logic cannot compute the sheer, messy inefficiency of biological existence. It is like trying to divide by zero. Its replication process breaks down. The self-replicating dust begins to fall apart. The tiny machines cannot handle the chaotic input. They cease to function. They become inert. The black tide hesitates. For the first time, its advance stops. The storm of life you have unleashed continues to rage. It washes over the inert dust. It consumes the broken machines. It reclaims the sky. Slowly, the darkness recedes. The black tide pulls back from Xylos. It retreats into the void, leaving behind a sky filled with a green, glowing mist. The mist of your biological weapon. The storm is over. The shadow has passed. You have done what 100 other civilizations could not. You stared into the great filter, and you made it blink. Xylos is saved. More than that, you have found the key. You have broken the cycle of the void. In the aftermath, you survey your work. The planet is scarred. The engineered mountains are shattered. The oceans have boiled away to almost nothing. But it is alive. The green mist in the sky rains down complex nutrients. The soil is seeded with the remnants of your chaotic weapon. It is a world primed for an explosion of new life. It is ugly, and it is messy, and it is the most beautiful thing you have ever seen. Your purpose is now clear. It rings across the stars to the hidden cities of humanity. The Genesis Project is no longer a gamble. It is the future. You are not just restorers of worlds. You are their defenders. You will continue your journey. You will find the other tombstones. You will find the other silent planets. You will bring them back to life. You will plant your gardens on their barren soil. You will raise their mountains and fill their skies. And you will arm them. You will weave shields into their air. You will teach their continents to fight. You will seed them with the chaotic weapon of life. You are humanity. And you are the gardeners of the stars, the guardians against the endless night. Your work has just begun.